Hello everyone, my name is Isaac and I live in the beautiful dusty lands of Canaan. Before I met Rebecca, my days were pretty predictable, mostly hanging out with sheep and talking to the stars at night. You might think that sounds boring, but it was quite peaceful, at least until one day my father, Abraham, decided it was time for a little excitement in my life. "Isaac," he said, "you're a great son, but it's time you got married. I'm too old to go looking for your bride, so I'll send my most trusted servant on this important mission." He gave his servant some very specific instructions, which, knowing my dad, probably included a list longer than a camel's neck. So off went the servant on a journey to find me a wife, and let me tell you, it wasn't just any trip. He took 10 camels with him, not because he needed 10, but because my father believed in traveling in style. I can just imagine him arriving at the well in my future wife's town, with camels puffing and grunting, probably scaring everyone half to death. At the well, the servant prayed for a sign. He asked that the right girl would not only offer him water, but also offer to water all his camels. Enter Rebecca, who came to the well, saw the tired servant and his caravan of thirsty camels, and immediately jumped into action. She was so quick and eager that at one point, she nearly tripped over a camel's hoof with her water jug. It must have been quite a sight. When the servant told her why he was there, Rebecca didn't bat an eyelid. Instead, she laughed and agreed to come back with him to meet me. Now, waiting for her, I started to wonder, does she like long walks and starry nights? Does she know how to talk to sheep? I guess I was about to find out. As I waited, I couldn't help but imagine all sorts of things. What if she changed her mind? What if she didn't like camels? Meanwhile, back at home, everyone was in a flurry of activity, getting ready for the wedding. My mother, Sarah, probably had half the tents in Canaan turned upside down looking for the perfect decorations. The day Rebecca was to arrive, I was a bundle of nerves. I decided to pass the time by helping set up for the wedding, but mostly I just got in the way. I tripped over rugs, knocked over jars, and managed to get tangled in a string of lanterns. Everyone was too busy laughing to be much help. Finally, I saw the dust cloud from the caravan in the distance. My heart raced as the figures on camels became clearer. Rebecca looked regal, riding at the front, her veil fluttering in the breeze like a banner of peace. As she approached, I tried to look dignified, but just as I was about to greet her, I stepped on the hem of my robe and nearly fell. Her first sight of her future husband was him flailing about, trying to regain balance. Thankfully, she just laughed, a clear, joyful sound that put us all at ease. Our wedding was the very next day. It was a grand affair with guests from far and wide. I remember standing there waiting for her, thinking about how lucky I was. When Rebecca walked towards me, all the missteps and mishaps melted away. We exchanged vows under a canopy of stars, surrounded by the laughter and blessings of our families. The feast afterward was something to remember. I even managed to step on my mother's toes during a dance, which only added to the merriment. Our wedding day was full of joy, laughter, and a few clumsy moments, but it was perfect because it was ours. Adjusting to married life was both exciting and, well, full of surprises. Rebecca brought a new energy into our home that was contagious. Even the sheep seemed livelier. I quickly learned that living with someone was a bit different than just visiting, especially when it came to household chores. One of the first lessons I learned was about cooking. One evening, I decided to surprise Rebecca with a meal. I thought, how hard can it be? Turns out, quite hard. I mixed up salt and sugar, burned the stew, and ended up with bread that could have doubled as stones for building another room on our tent. Rebecca came in to find a cloud of smoke in me, coughing but triumphant with my culinary creations. She burst into laughter, kissed my cheek, and gently suggested we keep a bucket of water handy next time I cooked. As we settled into our routines, we faced challenges, like any couple, but we always tackled them together. Once, a nearby chief visited unexpectedly, hoping to form an alliance. I was away tending to the flocks, so Rebecca welcomed him. By the time I returned, she had impressively negotiated a peace agreement involving only 3 goats and 2 bushels of barley. "Who knew diplomacy could be so affordable?" she joked afterwards. Then came the joyous challenge of parenting, twins no less. Esau and Jacob were as different as dawn and dusk. Esau loved the outdoors and was as rugged as the hills, while Jacob preferred the quiet corners of our tent, always planning something. Watching their personalities unfold was like living with a daily dose of mystery and amusement. Through all these moments, Rebecca and I grew closer, learning from each other and leaning on each other. Our life was filled with laughter, love, and the occasional surprise, much like our first meeting. Thank you for joining us on this journey through laughter and love in the heart of our home. If you enjoyed these stories, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share. There's plenty more where this came from, and we'd love to have you along for more adventures. What part of our story did you love the most? Let us know and stay tuned for more tales from the past that bring smiles and inspiration to your day.